Welcome to AM Best Audio.
AM Best has released its 23rd annual Impairment Rate and Rating Transition Study. And here to discuss the scope of the study and its findings is Wai Tang, Senior Director, Insurance Linked Securities, AM Best. And Wai, tell us about the scope of this report. What is it looking at and what were the findings for 2025?
I see, sure. The study spans 48 one-year period from December 31st, 1977 through December 31st, 2025, and focus on U.S. domiciled insurance companies that were carrying AM Best rating, either financial strength rating or long-term issue credit rating at the time they become impaired. It is worth mentioning that what impairment means in this context. AM Best considers a company impaired when a court order or equivalent regulatory action places it into conservation, rehab, or liquidation. That is a broader standard than a simple debt default. It can capture regulatory intervention at an earlier stage before the company has fully failed. And also because right now weather-related losses has been a growing factor, the report also includes impairments due to natural cats since 2012. We observe one notable pattern. Most of the companies that become impaired due to natural cat events had already dropped their AM Best rating before the impairment, or had never been rated at all. As for 2025, no AM Best rated insurers become impaired during that year. That followed a similar result in 2024. Looking at the broader 5-year cat picture, there's a shift worth mentioning. Of the 22 companies impaired due to natural cat in last 5 years, the early years, 2021 and 2022, were dominated by hurricane losses in the state of Florida and Louisiana. However, more recently, the last 3 years, 8 of the 9 cat-related impairments were in Midwest states and driven by severe convective storms like hail or tornadoes. That's quite a meaningful shift in the types of cat risk that caused the impairments.
Now, as you know, Wai, many credit rating agencies offer impairment statistics. How is this report different from the others out there?
Well, there's quite few meaningful differences, and they matter a lot when you want to make the comparison. First, AM Best is focused exclusively on insurance only. Other major rating agencies cover a wide range of the industry, and insurance is just one segment of their ratings universe. AM Best study reflects a deeper and broader population of U.S. insurers than typically found in the insurance line of those other rating agencies' default studies. Second, the report measures impairments, not default. Corporate default studies from other rating agencies are primarily checking missed payments on senior unsecured debt, distressed exchanges, and bankruptcies. Impairment, as AM Best defines it, also capture regulatory intervention due to insolvency concerns, such like conservatorship or rehab, and even before any payment has been missed. It's a wider net, and it tends to flag trouble earlier. Third, if you really want to do a direct comparison across studies, you need to require some care. The report itself flags this too. If you want to compare AM Best impairment rates to the default study published by other rating agencies, the right basis for comparison for AM Best is holdings companies' issuer credit ratings, not the financial strength rating assigned to the operating companies. Those holding companies' rating are the closest equivalent to senior unsecured debt ratings.
Customize your data experience. BestLink now offers an interactive company dashboard that provides company-level intelligence in a fast, user-friendly interface featuring interactive tables, charts, and Sparkline performance histories. Customize the dashboard tiles to prioritize the insurer ratings, data, and analytics that best support your workflow. AM Best. Our insight, your advantage.
The report notes uncertainties around the macroeconomic and geopolitical environments. Generally speaking, do you think companies are well positioned to absorb market downturns should they happen?
Well, you know what? The data actually point to a pretty mixed picture. Okay, the sector has real strength at this moment, but there are structural pressures that will be tested in a downturn. On the positive side, life and health insurance companies are in relatively good shape on capitalization and supported by strong annuity sales and better investment yields. The U.S. property and casualty industry posted a combined ratio of 83% in the year of 2025, helped by strong reserve releases and a fairly mild cat years. However, that said, the pressures are real too. Okay, property and casualty insurers are dealing with more frequent and severe weather events, higher losses from social and economic inflations, and uncertainties around reserve adequacy in long-tail casualty lines. Reinsurers has lately raised the attachment points, which means primary insurers are absorbing more of the initial loss when a huge loss occurs. The broader macroeconomic environment adds another layer of uncertainty. Interest rate movements, geographical instabilities, shifting trade patterns all affect insurers' investment returns, capital position, and claim exposures, especially in lines like the marine cargo and business interruptions. Overall, on balance, larger carriers appear reasonably well positioned because they tend to be better capitalized, right? More geographically diversified, and better placed to absorb shocks. The greater vulnerability sits with smaller single-state carriers that concentrate in high-cat areas. The risk is real, but it's not evenly distributed across the industry, though.
Wai, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
That was Wai Tang, Senior Director, Insurance Linked Securities at AM Best. You can find the full report online at ambest.com. For AM Best TV, I'm John Weber. Looking to get the full attention of the insurance industry? We have the platforms that will do just that. Whether it be AM Best TV, AM Best Audio, Best Review Magazine, or Best Day. Find out more by calling AM Best Advertising Sales at 908-439-2200, extension 5399, and have a great day.